This is my 121 subscriber video. I didn't really think I was gonna make one of these because I really don't know, honestly. I don't know if people will still make 100 subscriber specials, but in this past month, I think I have gained 100 subscribers. So that's really cool if you think about it. Although it seems so little, if you imagine this room that I'm in, right, with 100 people, it seems like a lot, So, 100 people, although it's such a tiny number, it's really a lot. And my whole purpose with my content and what I say and what I teach is not necessarily for fame, but rather so that someone out there can get a word that they have been needing, or get something that they need to incorporate in their lives, or just something that maybe they've been asking the Lord for, maybe they've been praying about it. And, my video can be a help to that. And so I'm not looking for like thousands of people to watch my videos. Would that be amazing? I mean, yeah, that would be amazing. But my goal with everything that I do and I make is just to help a one person. Just one person. And I've seen done that. I've seen that I've done that a couple times. And I'm really thankful that, although I'm not in this like influential position, I'm still able to help people. I'm still able to kind of be a light. Even in the light, you can be a light. And yeah, I guess I'll tell my testimony while I'm on the mic making this video, because this is not like a normal video. Um, well, I grew up all my life in the church. So my parents went to church, and then so naturally I went to church, and I've been going to church since I was like a little kid. So we've been going to church all my life, and I never took it serious up until a couple years ago. Dad stopped going to church. I stopped going to church. Everyone stopped going to church. And so I was kind of just on this path of just like doing whatever and going to parties and drinking and smoking and doing this. And I was trying to fill this void in my heart, something that you're just constantly looking for, constantly chasing. And eventually I was like, yeah, none of this is like, at the end of the day, you lay down in your bed and you still feel the same as the day before. And so I guess I didn't really have like an answer. I was like, well, I've been doing all this and I don't feel happy. So eventually I started going to church, and that's a certain point I just started taking it serious, and now I'm here. Um, I'd say I started taking it serious the fall of 2024. And then, yeah, because throughout 2025, I was kind of still going, like, like I was taking the baby steps. And really, 2026 has been this year of, I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like, if you know stock market, if you know like the Nasdaq and the S&P, sometimes and whenever there's like a news event, which I used to do the content, it would just spike up on like a FOMC day, or like just like some random news. It'll just spike. And that's what I feel like my Christian walk, or my walk with God, kind of happened. I was kind of going up a little bit. It was going slow, and then 2026 just hit, and then it just went up. And really, it's been going even more higher. Recently, I attended this young adults camp, because the church I go to, I don't know nobody, or I used to not know nobody. And I went to this camp, and I found community, and this community has been pushing me even further in my faith than I could have even imagined. I was just talking to someone about this, one of my friends. His name is Richie. I was like, yeah, before the camp, like my faith, my walk was just like this little campfire I had. And once after, I met all these people, and like I'm doing stuff now, it's like this big bonfire. And so, yeah, I used to, like be lost and not have a relationship with God. And I wouldn't say I had like a horrible life, but I went through a heartbreak, and I was just looking for happiness. That's what every human does. Like that's the core search, looking for happiness. And that's what I did. And you can search the whole world, obviously, but just like Ecclesiastes, the life is pointless if you don't have God in it. And it took me a long time to figure that out. And yeah, I'd say my relationship with God is definitely way different than a year or two ago, even like 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I would have never imagined I'd be taking it serious like this. I never would have imagined it, honestly. I always thought I'm just gonna leave the church, when I can, and I'm just gonna be with my friends and just do whatever. And I did, but it it was just something that I wasn't built for. But I do think it's all in like God's like timing. Things happen for a reason, and you go through these issues, and you're like, I can never get through this because I thought that I'm always gonna be sad. I'm never gonna find happiness. I'm never gonna get out of this hole. And it seemed like the end for me. Like I mean, it's like it's not a big issue. But I was going through this heartbreak, and I like every night I'm just like, oh God, like just deliver me from this. And yeah, but God always has a reasoning. There's always something that can be used for his reasoning. And yeah, I guess that's my testimony. I don't have a big traumatic testimony. I haven't been baptized yet. Um it's not something that I don't want to do. It's definitely something I do want to do. I've just been kind of pushing back on it because, well, I'm an evangelical, right? And so it's a big joke, but the mega churches, I kind of go to one, I guess. They when they're doing baptisms, they have like 3 or 5 going on, and I kind of want my baptism to mean, baptism is quite literally like you're being baptized with Christ. It's supposed to be this special like this like holy thing, like like this is your step to sanctification, and I want mine to be holy, like, and special. But I'm looking at these baptisms, it doesn't look like that. And so I'm an evangelical that hates the evangelical side of Christianity. The evangelical side has a bunch of issues and problems. Really, all sides of Christianity have issues and problems. So I can't really complain, because if I was anywhere, I'd have an issue with any like denomination, I guess. If I was a Catholic, I have an issue. If I was an Orthodox, I have an issue. If I was a Protestant, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I haven't been baptized yet, but that's definitely something on my bucket list that needs to happen. So that'll happen soon. But yeah, I am. This is my 121 subscriber special. Just thank you to everyone who has been watching. My goal for you, and really for me, is to not make followers, but rather make disciples. That's what Jesus said. Disciples and followers are two whole separate things. My job is not to plant a seed, but rather my job, I want it to be where I'm growing your seed. I'm pushing you further. I'm challenging people to not be comfortable, but go deeper in your faith, and to just mature more in your walk. And so that's my whole goal with this. So I don't know if I'll ever, do big scale things. I would love to, but it's not my say to like, I'm not the one to say I'm gonna do this. If it's not for me, it's not for me, and whatever. But regardless, what I'm doing right now, I just want to help one person at a time. Doesn't matter if 5 people watch my video. If one person just says, oh, I need this today, then that's all I'm looking for. So yeah, my name's Jaden, and yeah, that's it.